Hi guys, how are you? This is George. Welcome back to our GH live stream room. So today we're going to show you this kit. This kit is the G6407. For this kit, we are going to show you how to do the tutorial to make the design. So let's go. So here's our 6 colors of our shimmer. It's the shimmer collection of this kit. So for this kit, you could find those 6 colors. And today we're going to show you how to do these designs. These kind of the old school designs. So let's go for the tutorials. First, you need to prepare the powder. And here's our 180. And here's our jar. For our jar is so big because it's half ounce. It's 17 grams. It's bigger than others. Every time you need to roll the powder. So here's our 177. For this color, it's same. You need to do the rolls on the powder, and then to open the cap. Here's the 071. For this color, is from another kit, but you could use it to do the designs, to let the design looks more perfect together. So now we are going to using the nail tips or a nail stick to help you to stir the powder to avoid it sticking together. So every time you need to roll the powder first and then to stir the powder with the stick or the tooth stick. Because later we are going to using the powder and dip into the powder. So it's kind of important parts of here. So before we need to do all preparation, we need to do the bomb prepared. For the bomb prepared, actually it could be dry your nail bed, and then the powder will be more stick with your nails. But actually, if you have the balm or primer at home, that you could use them. Or the pH plat. Because we are going to show you how to do the design. Here's the fake nails. If you are natural nails, you need to use the balm to help you. So here's our nature powder. You need to roll it like that. It's 2 ounces. You can find this from our dip powder success kit. So now we're going to using the base. For the base, it's easy to open the cap without any stringy look for the dip glue. We need to brush evenly from the middle left to the right, and then to dip into the natural powder. For here, the natural powder is extra base powder. So for the last finger and the top finger, we are going to do the design for ombre. So here we need to do the base. We need to dip 1 layer of the natural powder, the clear powder, extra base. To dip into the base and take out. So using the brush to help you to set off. So for another hand, we're going to using the bomb pads too. If you have the balm or primer at home, that you could use them. Actually, no matter what brand, it's just to dry your nail bed, remove any oil from your nail plate. So for these fingers, we are going to do the design too, because for the designs is the ombre. So first you will need to apply the base to your entire nail and then dip into the natural powder. For this natural powder is 2 ounces. You can find from our dip powder success kit. So every time you need to brush it evenly, just like that, from the middle left to the top to the right, and then brush evenly for your nail plate. And turn your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the clear powder. And going to tie off. And now you need to using the brush. For this dust remover brush, you could find from our dip powder accessories kit too. So as you can see, when you dip into the powder and the nature nails, for the nature powder, it could using for you as the base. And later we're going to using another usage. We could use it as the cover powder. So we need to use the base again. As you can see, our nail technician going to apply it evenly every time. And then using the brush to help you to apply the powder and sprinkle on the top with the glitter. This glitter is from our G6407. And gonna to tell off. For another, the top finger, we are going to do the ombre too. So we need to apply the base to your entire nail. Because we must be to apply the base to your entire nail, that your nails won't feel bumpy. So for this finger, we are going to do the ombre too. From the top. So here's the important part. When you see the top finger, you need to apply much more powder and then to sprinkle tap on your nails, and then to take out any powder. You need to using the brush to help you. So for another hands, we're going to using this color steel. We need to apply the base to your entire nail from the middle left to the top, to the right, and then to using the brush. Actually, if you are doing the designs at home, you could using different kind of the brush. For the ombre, you could to do the ombre from the bottom, or you could do the ombre from the top. So today our nail technician going to do the ombre from the top. It just depends on you if you want the nails, the top with more color, more dark color, or on the bottom. It depends on your interest how to do the design well, but it's same way to apply. First, to apply the base to your entire nail, and then using the brush to help to sprinkle the glitter on your nails. So every time just tap like that, and then to tap off any excess. You need to using the brush to help you. So for our powder, actually it's the fast shine dipping powder. It could be dry within 30 seconds. So you do not need to worry whether it gets dry or not. It could be dry by itself. So we take some sequins. We need to apply the base to your entire nail again, and then to using the brush to apply some more larger size of the sequins, the glitter. But this kind of the sequins is kind of the light because it's lightweight, so you won't feel very strong or very orange on your nails, but it is a more larger size glitter. But it is still very lightweight. So we need to, every time you need to apply the base, then your sequins will be stick with your nails. You need to brush it like that, brush it evenly. So if you are first using our fast shine dipping powder, if you find the brush get dirty, actually you could using the brush saver to help you. So we need to using the brush to help to apply some sequins and to do the decals. So this nails will be looks so gorgeous and our sparkle. So now we're here to using the nature powder again. For this time, the nature powder is extra cover powder to protect your design. So at the first, we need to use it as the base, and now we use it on top for covering. So we need to apply the base to your entire nail just like that. You need to brush it evenly. Do not let the base to get on your cuticle, but if you find it already to get on your cuticle, you need to file off. So we need to scoop the clear powder, the nature powder, and then sprinkle on the nails, because this way the last layers won't be so thick. So when you find your nature powder get influence, that you need to take out. So we need to brush the base from the top to the bottom, and then to brush evenly. And using the nail tips to help you. Or if you don't have, you could using the cuticle pusher. And then to scoop the powder and sprinkle on the top. So this way that this layer won't be so thick. Because our fast shine dipping powder, it could be dried by itself. So for this hands, we are going to repeat this step. We're using one layer of the nature powder and one layer of the glitter to do the ombre, and another layer for the sequins, the light, very light, small, the tiny sequins, but the bigger size than the glitter. It will look, make your nails looks more attractive. You just to apply it randomly. You could select any kind of the brush to help you to apply their sequins or any larger glitter to on your nails. But every time you need to brush evenly. As you can see, our nail tension going to brush the base evenly on the nails. And then you need to apply the sequins like that from the top, and let your nails looks more sparkle and bling. So for here, to let it dry, and then we need to take using the nature powder. And this time for the nature powder, we are going to use it as the cover powder to protect your design. And actually guys, if you are using this kit, you will find our powder could be dried by itself within 30 seconds. And actually you do not need to worry on whether the powder get dry or not. We need to scoop the nature powder and then sprinkle on the nails. And then tie off. So every time after using the nature powder or other powder, color powder, you need to keep the cap tightly closed. We just do the demo, the tutorial, so you do not need to worry. But if you're doing the designs at home, you need to keep all cap tightly closed after using. It's better to avoid your powder mixed together with other color. So scoop the nature powder and then to take out, stay for seconds, then our powder will be dry by itself. So for this finger, we are going to using this color, the 177. You need to stir the powder to avoid it sticking together. For this now we're going to using the normal way, just to dip into the shimmer colors. Actually this kind of a little bit larger the glitter. And then to take out, when you dip into the powder, stay for a second. We need to using the brush to help you to tie off. Normally for our powders, 2 to 3 coats is enough. We need to brush it evenly for every layer. And then dip into the powder, stay for a second and take out. So for turn to another hand, another finger, we're going to do the same. So we need to repeat this step to apply the base to your entire nail. Do not let the base to get on your cuticle. So every time you need to brush the base, just near the cuticle parts. Do not let it get on, because the base when it touch your skin, you won't feel good, and then your powder will stick it with it. So first you need to apply the dip base, not too much or not too lax. And then to brush evenly and turn your finger 45-degree angle and dip into the powder. And now using the brush to help you to tie off. So we need to open the cap of the nature powder. For the nature powder, it helps to protect your design. If you are using the nature powder from our dip powder accessories kit, then you do not need to apply the activator to make the powder dry. But if you're using another brand of the nature powder, I think you need to using the activator to help you. But actually for our dip powder accessories kit, it's kind of the popular nail tools for the nail lovers to do the powder nails, because it is with all kind of the nail tools you need. So we need to apply the base every time to brush evenly. And using and this one we're going to dip into it. So after using, you need to keep the cap tightly closed. When you find your brush get dirty, you can using the lint-free wipe to wipe off excess dip glue first, and then to using the brush saver to help to clean. And then to using the lint-free wipe again to wipe off any excess glue, and then dip into and then put into the base. So after using the dark color or the glitter that you feel your brush get influence, that you can use a brush to help you, the brush saver. So we need to use the base. For this nail, we're going to apply it to your entire nail. And dip into the powder, stay for a second and take out. For this color, actually you can find from our another kits. It's the 3646. We're using this color to help to combine our design. So actually I think most of our clients, they got 3 or more, 2 to 3 more and more kits from our GH dip. So you could to select the color as you like to do more designs. So here we're going to repeat this step for another nails. we need to brush it evenly. And then to dip into the powder, stay for a second, and take out and tap off. Using the brush to help you. And we need to using the base again to your entire nail. To brush it evenly from the middle left to the right. And dip into the powder, stay for a second and take out. And during tap off. So for another nails, we are going to using another colors. It's the 180. For this color is from our G6407, the glitter. We need to brush it evenly for your nails. Every time you keep your brush flat. And then to dip into the powder, stay for a second. As you can see, because our jar is big, so actually you can see the mouth of our jar is big, so you won't feel the powder will be so easily to spill out or overflow easily when you dip your nails into our powder jars. If your nails are long. This color is just like the galaxy. And then to dip into the powders and take out. For we need to repeat this step for another hand. So we're going to apply it, everything layer, and then dip into the powder. Stay for a second and take out. And ta-da! And we're going to use a brush to help you. So every time you need to brush it like that. Everything layer, you can follow our tutorial and then you will find it's super funny to making this kind of the design because your nails will look gorgeous. And now we are going to using the brush to help to tap off. Every time you need to use a brush to brush off any powders or any dust from your nails. And here, because these are all the glitter, so we're going to using the brush again to apply it the base evenly, and then using the natural powder. Actually, you could dip into the natural powder. We got two ways. If you think the layer is enough, so that you could using another way to scoop the powder and sprinkle from the top by the nail tips. But actually, you could dip into the natural powder. It depends on you. And then to tap off. So we need to put the brush into our bottle and keep the cap tightly closed every time. So after our designs, after our tutorial, that you can see it is kind of the mess here, so we need to clean out. And then later we are doing the buffing and the filing. I think we have the client, they don't know how to do the filing or the buffing well, but I need to remind you guys, you need to avoid the cuticle skins to get scratched. So it's so important when you hold your hand, when you hold your fingers, you need to protect the cuticle part. As you can see, our nail technician, every time they using the nail gel or the nail machine, she will use their hands, their fingers to help to protect the model's cuticle part. As you can see, so it's important when you do the filing or the buffing on your own nails, you need to use your another hand to help you to, because you got so many fingers, you need to help to protect your cuticle skin. As you can see, every time when our nail technician going to fire, she will use their fingers to protect model's cuticle part. So when you're doing the filing or the buffing on your own nails, it's so important that you need to use your another two fingers to avoid your nail file or buffer to scratch your skin. And you need to adjust the right speed of the machine to help you. You cannot over filing or over buffing. And as you can see, you could use the nail file or the nail gel to help you to file off any place that you feel bumpy or uneven. So when you're doing the filing, you need to adjust the speed of the nail machine first, and to using your two fingers to help to protect your cuticle. So we need to, during the filing, every time from your nail plate first and turn to the cuticle part. And actually, if you follow our step, you will find without any bumpy or uneven place, because we every time apply the base evenly. So it's so important. When we're doing the buffing, you need to watch out your cuticle part. You need to do this step very slowly. Do not over buffing or over filing. If you're using the machine, that's you need to adjust the speed of the machine first. You could test on your own skin. It won't hurt your cuticle part. Because I think some clients, they got the broad because they over filing or over buffing. So it's so kind of important thing is that, and you need to put your finger to along the way that you turn your nail machine by every angle when you want to find the cuticle part. So you need to use the machine slightly and slowly. Do not to over filing. It's the important part. And actually, if you are using our GH Fast Shine Dipping Powder Kit, you just need to using only one time for the activator. So until now, we didn't using any activator on our own nails because our powder could be dry within 30 seconds. Do not overusing the activator too, because the activator, if you are overusing, then the powder nails will be easily cracking. And if for the activator, it's kind of the volatile liquid. If you find your powder kits, first you need to keep your cap tightly closed every time, then the activator won't be spilled out because it's kind of the volatile liquid. And another, when you find that it's empty, you just could contact with our after sale service team if you got the first kit. So now we're going to using this nail file to help to shade the nails. So I think here's the important part. When you turn to your nail file, as you can see, our nail technician going to protect the cuticle of our models. So if you are using by your nails, you need to using another 2 fingers to help you to protect your cuticle skin, to avoid the nail file to scratch your skin and hurt your skin. Here's the important part. Please follow our tutorial like that. We need to using 2 fingers to help to protect the cuticle skin when you're doing the filing. And every time you need to keep your mood relaxing, that you will enjoy the nail powder, the nail art process. So this part, we are using this nail file. You can find it from our dip powder accessories kit too. For this nail file, if you don't have the machine, you could use it to help to file off any bumpy or uneven place too. But because we got the machine, so for the nail play, we are going to use in the machine. For the nail edge and the nail shape, we are going to using this nail file. This one isn't same with the same one. We got 2 nail file on the kit and 1 buffer on that dip powder accessories kit. We need to use it for the artificial nail because the middle with the sponge. This one will be more flexible. We need to use it and turn to different angles, just like the 45-degree angle if you are first using the file. And every time do not to over filing. As you can see, when we are doing the filing for the parts of the cuticle, we need to using your 2 fingers to protect your skin. So after the filing, we're going to using the nail buffer. This buffer, it won't to make your nail get shiny. It using remove the shine and to grinding the powder nails more evenly. When you're using the buffer, you need to take care too, because you need to help to protect your cuticle part. Because when you hold your fingers, you need to using another 2 fingers to protect your cuticle skin to avoid it to get hurt by the buffer or the nail file. And if you're first to using the buffer, you need to do it slightly and cannot over buffing or over filing. For the buffing is so kind of the important part too, because when you're doing the buffing, you could grinding your nail surface more evenly, because later we're going to apply the top on your nails, that your surface looks more glossy. So every time you need to buffing like that, from the nail plate and turn to the cuticle part, and to let your 2 fingers to help to protect your cuticle skin, and then it won't feel hard to bite by the nail buffing. So guys, until now we didn't using the activator, so do not using the activator before you doing the filing and the buffing, because our fast drying dipping powder is kind of the new formula. It's kind of different from other brands on the market. And for the nail tools, you can find from our dip powder accessories kit. And for the colors, you can find from our G6407. And for this kit, actually we have the limited time lining deal on 9th August, 8 to 20 a.m. and 2 to 20 p.m. the Pacific Daylight Time. We have the limited time lining deal for this kit. the G6407. So when we're doing the buffing, we need to do it like that. You need to do this slightly, do not overfiling. Every time when you turn to the critical parts, you need to put your buffer turn to the another angles. And if you feel sharp on the edge of the nail buffer or the nail file, you could to smooth it up by other nail files if you are first to use this kind of the nail file and the buffer. Because for the buffer and the nail file, we have two sides, 100 grids and 180 grids. So every time during the buffing, we need to do it like that to grinding the powder nail surface more evenly, and then turns your fire, the buffer, with another angle. But for your two fingers, you need to have to protect your critical skin. And every time, don't forget the nail edge and the critical part. Actually, for the designs, we already using the natural powder to protect, so it won't feel. You won't feel whether it will be gets buffer the glitter, because we are using the natural powder to help you to protect the design. So if you find the place still not good, that you could using the buffer to help to buffing too, with more even and more smooth. So every time you need to turn your buffer like that with the angles, because for this part, the nail buffer, we have two sides. One side is square, another side is the round side. So it fits for all kinds of the nail shapes. Today our mother is wearing the fake nails with the coffin shape, and actually for the nail shape, you could using the almond shape or the round shape or the square shape. It just depends on you. I think the coffin shape is kind of the popular shape, nail shape, to do the nails. So every time you need to use the nail buffer to grind it, to grind the nail surface more evenly. And you need to keep it to buffing slightly. So actually for those, we have the kits for the G6407. We have the limited time sliding deal on 9th August 8 to 20 a.m. to 2 to 20 p.m. the Pacific Daylight Time. For this kit, including 6 pieces the shimmer and the glitters, just very small tiny glitters for those colors. We have the blue glitter, the brown, and just like the galaxy colors, and 2 red glitters. So for those colors, you can find it from our this G6407. And actually, when you buy the kits, you got 4 pieces dip glue and 6 pieces fast shine dipping powder. I think most of our clients, they have the kits already. When you join in our Facebook group, that you can find, we have so many events for you. You could to scan the QR code on your screen. I think it's on your right side. That you could join into our Facebook group and to get a free gift. When you first to join our group and you are the client of our GH tip, that you got the free kit. and we got so many events there, and we will to remind you when we will have the limited time lightning deal, and we got so many customer and lovers to communicate their experience how to doing well with our GH dip fast giant dipping powder on that group. So welcome to join us. We are finding the influencer too, and then to do some demos of our powders. So after the buffing and the filing, we are going to do the brush remove any dust on your nails. So every time when you're doing the buffer, do not to over buffing. And you need to using 2 fingers to help to protect your critical skin. And using the brush to help to remove any dust particles from your nail plate. Especially if you are doing the glitter or the shimmer colors. So now here we are going to using the lint-free wipe to wipe off any dust particles from the nail plate. Here's the important part too. If you don't have the lint-free wipe, that's you could using the paper towel to help you. Because it's kind of the important things, because later we're going to apply the top on your nails. And actually for the activator, it will be more soft by your nails if your surface is rough. So our nail technician going to select some decals. Then later we need to apply it on your nails. So here is our activator, the number 2. For the activator, we need to use it only one time after the buffing and the filing, but before your top. We need to brush it evenly to your entire nail. And then to, as you can see, I'm going to take the technician from the middle left to the right. They every time to apply it to your entire nail evenly. So after the activator, we are going to use the top. For the top, we are going to using 2 layers, and today we are going to using the top to help to stick with the decals. We are going to apply some decals on your nails. So actually we are going to using the top for the second layer on. For this layer we need to apply much more than the first layer. We need to select the decals like that. And using the top to help the decals will be stick with it. But you need to choose maybe a little bit small. Cannot you chose the large decals or the large diamond. It won't to it will be easy to fall down. For this finger, we are going to using the gold ring, the golden ring, but it's half ring to do the decals. For another one, another fingers, we are selecting the decals. So we need to apply the top again. And using the trickster to help you to put some decals and the gems on the nail. here's 3 diamonds. But this kind of the diamond is so tiny. You cannot use the bigger diamonds because the bigger diamonds you need to use in the gummy gel to help to protect. But today we are going to using the top to apply the top to let the top to stick with the decals on your nails. We need to take a little quantity of the glue on your decals to help to stick with your nails. We need to take some and to put some on the decals. Put some top on your decals and then to let the top and the decals to stick with your nails. For another fingers, we are going to finish the top coat. But for those fingers, we need to apply it 2 layers is enough. We need to apply it very thin layer on the first layer. And when you see that half dry but still sticky, actually after 3 fingers that you turn back is enough. That you need to apply the second layer immediately. We need to brush it evenly, so no matter the base or the activator or the top, every time you need to brush evenly to keep your brush flat. And then wait around within 1 minute that it will get dry. For this hand, the decals are already done. For here, for another hand, we're going to repeat the step. We need to apply the activator first because after the buffing and the filing, we need to using the brush. You need to using the activator to brush evenly on your nails. And then we need to brush for your entire nails. Remember, entire nails, do not to overusing the activator, but you need to apply to your entire nail because later we're going to apply the top. From the middle left to the right. So now we're going to using the top. For the top, we need to brush it evenly. For the first layer. Brush evenly the first layer and then when you go by the first finger, we could apply the second layer on. So here's the point when you're using our GH fast giant dipping powder kit for the top coat. Actually, you need to apply it 2 times, but the first time half dry but still sticky. That's using another layer on. And then wait around 1 minute that it will get dry. It's faster than so many other brands on the market. So if you're hurry to go out, it's best choice for you doing your powder nails. So for these 2 fingers, we are going to using the first layer of the top. And we need to apply another layer on. For this layer, we are going to do the decals just like another hand. We select the golden ring, the half ring, just like the moon, and then to match your nails. You can select any sizes which fit for your nails. It just do the decals. and we need to apply another layer on when you think the top already dry. And using the decals to apply it on. So here's the crux shell, but this kind of the crux shell actually is so lightweight, so it will be more stick with your nails. So here's our today's design. Oh guys, so welcome back. For this kit, we're gonna to have the limited time lightning deal, the G6407. You can find it from our Amazon.com. So guys, see you next time. Bye.